One final question, Patrick, I want to put that to you, and that is really interesting, the background, your particular, personal background. No real cricketing background as such. You were a professor of political science and suddenly you were asked to coach the cricket team. How did that happen?
Basically, I'm a sports person who's represented college. I've captained my college team and all that. But then again, the blind cricket is a different ball game. It's more of sort of man management. It's managing the team. It's working with the confidence. It's inspiring the players. So it's beyond the cricket that is being played in the ground. So we do a lot of work, motivational work and a lot of other activities which gets them into playing a mode. So that's why I think I was chosen for this job, and I've been doing it, and we have won 3 World Cups. I suppose that's a great satisfaction. And what's important is it's a sad thing that they're not. I repeatedly ask myself this question, and I ask others also this question: what is the difference? Why can't the board's concerned, the government's concerned, recognize these players as as national players? Absolutely. And give the due that they deserve? You don't have to be continuously proving and telling them that here we come again and we prove the World Cup. I think this is very sad. That this is whatever state we are at right now, it has to be changed.
This is a message to the fans of Indian cricket.
I thought a visual will help understand how the blind cricket works. The inspiration and energy for coaching the Indian blind cricket team is based on 2 factors which are very essential for me. And one is the place where I was born. I was born in a small hamlet called KGF, Kolar Goldfield, which supplied gold for the India. And besides that, it had produced a lot of players. And name any game, right from football, hockey or cricket to chess, snooker, golf, tennis. It had plenty of sports persons, an abundance of talent. But yet, not many could make it up to the national level. And it really pained me. And the second source of inspiration is my family. I was born to a family of 9 children, and I was the 8th one. And you can see that sports is there in the family. And I never had to look out for players and support and for energy outside my own family. And this inspired me. So one instinct pained me that not many could make it up to the national level. And the other one inspired me that I must do something for the sports and something for the society. So sports and the passion for sports and intent for sports was inborn in me. And from there, I got the inspiration that I must do something for the sports. And therefore, I took up the coaching of the blind cricket team. I trained and coached the blind cricket team in such a way that became champions of the champions. And today, India is the undefeatable champions in all formats of cricket in India. Now, there are a lot of things that I taught them, but I believe that there are more lessons that I've learned than what I coached them. In the next few minutes, I'll be talking about the lessons that I learned while coaching. The first one is, when our dreams are big, the challenges seems very small. This is a quotation I heard from a blind girl in Cape Town, South Africa in 2014 World Cup inauguration. She said that when your dreams are big, the challenges seem very small. Yes, an empty life cannot give energy to pursue our career, pursue our goals. We need to have dreams, and the dreams must be big. And what I mean by dreams must be big is that it is okay and it is perfectly all right for an ordinary person to dream of playing cricket. But for a blind to dream of playing cricket is something big. So we need to really have big dreams so that the small challenges don't seem to be very big enough for us. And unless and until we have big dreams, it doesn't provide us the energy to face the challenges of life. And therefore, when you dream big, dream impossible things, then whatever challenges you face in life will be just vanished. Because empty life cannot take us or give us energy to fly. It's only the dreams that take us where we want to go. Secondly, I learned that disability is not about what you don't have. It's about not using what you have. My players never complained about what they don't have or what they missed, because it's not about the missing limbs, it's about connecting the missing links. And therefore, my players made use of the best opportunities of whatever they had. And if you see, it's the people who have everything, the talent, the facilities, the infrastructure, that don't perform well. But the people who don't have many of the infrastructure or many of the faculties, they never complain about what they don't have. So disability is of the mind and not of the body. And our players have shown again and again that they can achieve without even having perfect human beings. Because it's not about perfections. There is no need to be perfect to inspire others. Let the people get inspired by how you deal with your imperfections. And this is what my players have taught me, that you don't have to be perfect to achieve great things. Thirdly, I learned that don't let circumstances dictate. Go beyond your limitations. Many of us always want to change the circumstances. We want to change the family from where we come. We want to change the place where we are born. We want to change the caste to which we are born. So don't blame others for our own failures. Because only when we go beyond our limitations, we can achieve what we want. When we do this, when we go beyond our limitations and test the time, what happens is that the fear gets converted into an adventure. The people who climb mountains, they call it adventures. But similarly, many people see that height and say we're afraid. So the fear can become an adventure, and jealous can become an appreciation. We don't have to feel jealous about those talents, those people who have plenty of talents. Because if we blame our own circumstances, we'll start feeling jealous about others' achievements. So if you want your jealous to be converted into appreciation, we need to go beyond our limitations. Don't blame the circumstances for what we are. Test them and go beyond. I never complained that I could not become a sports person, that I had to change my career. But I went beyond these limitations and I pursued my passion. Because sometimes we have to go ahead with our career for our own development. But it is the passion that will lead you to the development of others. So we have to pursue our own passions and don't get bowed down by the limitations of circumstances. And when we do that, our ignorance becomes learning, our challenges becomes opportunities. I was reading about the story of the single-leg amputee sports club. These are war veterans of Sierra Leone in South Africa, in African nations. They were all the victims of war, civil wars. And when they lost their amputees, they never cried about it. They never were, bowed down by the trouble that they faced. They all formed together a single-leg amputee football club and started playing football. And now they're playing all over the world football. This is what happens when we are able to go beyond our circumstances and face the limitations. I've also learned that victory makes you arrogant and failure teaches you lessons of life. No doubt, victory gives us fame, name, and glory. But if you see the short-term victories, the people who have achieved great things in any field of sports or culture or business, they live short because the lessons that they have learned from victory has not given them the energy to continue. But what makes people grow and continue in life and become greater and successful is the lessons that they have learned in failures. Because victory gives a sense of know-all attitude and blocks you from learning and growing. But on the other hand, failure teaches you lessons of life without humiliation. And it is always the failure in the league matches that gave us more ideas to succeed in the World Cups. And what we learned from victories were less than what we learned from failures in the games. We can't anticipate victory, nor can we postpone the failures and pains and sufferings. Players sometimes get jittery about the impending World Cups, the finals. They talk about it, how to win, how we go about it. But I always tell them that you cannot anticipate victory. You have to wait and go through the process. Whether it's a failure, whether it is preparations, we have to have patience. Unless and until we master the wait time, we cannot really enjoy the success. Because we will be able to only taste success. We will be able to smell success. But if we want to taste success, we have to go through the process. I well remember the story I read about the legendary football player from Brazil, Pelé, who wanted to score his 1000th goal. And he will be the first man in history to have scored 1,000 goals. He scored 999 goals without any problem. But the 1000th goal, he couldn't wait much. The pressure of media, the pressure of publicity bowed him so much down that he wanted to somehow score the goal, 1000th goal. And you won't believe, the 1000th goal that he scored was a penalty. Can you imagine a man who scored goals from different angles, different distances, and the man who was popular for the banana kick would have imagined to score his 1000th goal in the best of possible ways, had to finally settle down for a penalty. This is what happens if you're trying to anticipate success. You have to go through the process. The failures and the troubles, you have to go through them. And only then, the taste of success will be fantastic. Next is the God factor. I always realized that when things go beyond your wisdom, when things go beyond your preparations, whatever best preparations you do, when things don't happen, then you got to trust God. Even the best chess player, after making his most intelligent move, has no control over the move of the opponent. So there are certain times in life when we have control only to a particular limitations. And after that, once that move is made, we have no control over what happens. I also remember the story of a farmer who saved all his money to go into the prestigious maiden trip of Titanic ship trip from England to US. He had done all the planning, all the savings, and he wanted to take his entire family members of 5 people to this maiden journey. And he bought the tickets, which was not refundable, and spent all his fortunes for buying his tickets. And finally, just before 1 week, his son had a dog bite, and the doctor advised him not to go with the trip. The family supported the boy, and all of them finally had to cancel this prestigious trip that they had planned. Everything was so well planned. But after 1 week, we all know what happened to the Titanic ship, and then he thanked God for what happened. There are certain things in our life that we cannot control. When that happens, we have to trust God. The beauty is that there is always tomorrow to dream, to hope, aspire, and change things. The great inspiration I have got is that to believe in that tomorrow to change. Whatever may be our limitations, whatever may be our circumstances, but if we believe in changing the tomorrow, it is possible. Because nothing is permanent and everything can be changed, and why not disability? Every energy cannot be destroyed, or energy cannot be created or destroyed. They can only change its form. And the energy never dies for those who believe that we can make it tomorrow better. Thank you.